Hey there. This is BB. Hold on, let me. I had an experience. Sorry, my shirt's torn right there. I had an experience 2 days ago, which was weird. I'm sitting here, of course. I'm trying to bargain with these people that I want to work, and it's not happening. It's still not happening. And I sat there, and I was. I suddenly had this sensation. Now, I feel energy. I used to feel energy in my head, right? Mostly my head as a child. My head used to feel like I had light bulbs. I used to feel like every time my heart got broken, like I used to lose one of the light bulbs just to go out. And I used to get angry with God. I was always angry with Him as a kid. Like, is this why you put me here? I don't. Normally people would just get angry, but I used to get angry with Him. Is this why you put me here, to feel all this pain? Maybe a part of me knew something about me that I didn't know. Maybe a part of me knew something about me that I didn't know. Because I used to get angry with Him. Is this all you did? You put me here. I used to call myself God's personal brain test crash dummy. Now, this is insolence. This is not something I encourage. That I used to blame Him for everything happening to me. And when these people started attacking me, which was quite a while ago, I continued to do it. Same vein, same train. Right? Just blaming Him for everything. And you don't know how close of a relationship you have with your Creator or with anyone until you find that one person, when a crisis situation hits, or your happiest time of your life, the peak of your life, and one person you seek out, whether to blame them or to share it with, or to feel that exhilaration, that's who your soulmate is. And I'll tell you something, we all have one soulmate, one true soulmate. You know who that is? That's the big guy. That's the big guy. That one true soulmate. When we get mad, we blame him. When we feel happy, and we feel this sense of exhilaration, that pride at being a human being, of what we're capable of. And we feel worthy, just worthy that we're alive and grateful to be alive. Same again. You can't tell me when you're angry, when there's a loss, even the death of a loved one, adult or child, who's the one person we lash out at? We lash out at Him. Everybody loses people, but we lash out at Him because we take it personal. That's our connection with Him. But it's me, you know? Then He says, it happens. We all suffer losses. We always do. They'll come again. He promised everlasting life. Whether it's here in heaven on some Palladian planet, it's there. Don't worry, I'm not going to worry about it. But I do know one thing. Is like I always reach out to Him and blame Him. And I always reach out to Him when I feel exhilaration, I reach out to Him as well. I reach out to Him with exhilaration. Because I think this situation has made me feel almost like a prisoner, like an abductee. Like I've been abducted by this group of people that I can't see, but they're hacking me. The one thing, for 3 years, and I was hoping that they would stop and I would get my website and work and go on. Can you imagine that? For 2020, for the first 6 months, I made maybe like $25,000 to $40,000. I used to talk to psychics a lot, and from I think the 1st of January 2020 to the 19th, I believe, of February, which was just a month and 19 days, I'd spent almost over, I believe, $15,000 talking to psychics. So I made a lot of fucking money. It's not a lack of making money. I make money. I'm telling you, if you go and check my records, you will find it over $20,000. I mean, over $15,000. At some point, I stopped counting because I felt embarrassed for me, and I was alone in my home. So I make money, and this was back in California. So to go from that to this, somebody who's deliberately hacking me, is one of two things. Is either this is the website they like, or they're using the website. Should shit go sideways and they get caught, they'll say, well, it was because I was making so much money. It's not something more sinister. It's not something more sinister. It's something that's you know, just something run of the mill. But the experience I had, getting back to the experience I had, was of Muhammad Ali. Like, I was somewhere here, or the right side of someone, or something, or around like a curvature, and I'm in a ring or something. It was a ring, and I could see the sweat on this man's face, the sweat on his face. I could see the sweat coming off him, and this slow motion, this energetic punching, like punching with the gloves. But he seemed confused. And I was awake. I was sitting there on my couch. I don't smoke pot. I don't do cigarettes. I don't do alcohol. I don't do any type of drug. I don't do these things. I don't do these things. So I just sat there. It was like about between 7 and 8 o'clock. I sat there and that's what I saw. I was sitting there, lights were on, I wasn't lying down even. And then I looked down and I saw people like we were upwards, like almost on this person's neck or something. And I looked down and I saw the crowd and I started, why am I up here and they're down there? Feels like I'm looking down on these people. And I lowered my hand and I started touching the ground and I started praying and I started asking for my, and I was awake doing this, asking for my Creator, asking for blessings, asking to bring this down where I feel like these people are part of me again. Like feel like these people are, you know, they're noticed, they're humbled, they're like I'm humble enough to be part of them. Like I'm humble enough to be part of these people. Like to bring them into my experience in a sense. Either bring them into my experience or put myself on their plane. Put myself on their plane. To make myself feel that love, that joy just to be alive. Why am I looking down on these people? And with that mentality, this group of people who is doing this and these various groups who are targeting people, that's the mentality they have. They're looking down on us. I guess whatever this is, that's called the broadcasting. I don't know how they did it to me. It's called the broadcasting. And they go from literally looking down, because if they're like almost like take a patch of skin and they're there. I don't know how they do it. Like they're there. I just don't know how. Is this some type of drug? Is it the adrenochrome from the person they have to put? I don't know. They did it. With that, it's like I am not sure how they do this. And I started praying because I remember the man was Muslim and I remember he was a religious man. He liked God. He used to talk about God. He used to talk about God. And I put my hand and I started to come down, and then I saw rainbows, like dragonfly wings, like rainbows. And I pulled one very, very close to me. I could see like scales, and each one is like a different thing. It's like this rainbow, color of rainbows. And I pulled them close until I saw them reflected in my eyes. Saw them reflected in my eyes. And then I looked, and I went to wake up. I was like, and I'm asking the people, these invisible people, but I know they're there. Like, what is this? I think that was part of the broadcasting. They tried to pull me into it. I don't know what it means. I don't understand how it's done, but it felt to me like I was on someone's, not on something, but on the side of something. So wherever they went, I would have to go. I don't like that. I don't have that freedom. So if they fall, that means I will fall too. Except that I guess they extricate themselves at that point. I don't know. But the sweat, you could see the sweat and the punching, but the man seemed confused. He was confused. He seemed confused, and I did not like that. And then I looked down and saw these people down there. Why was I up here? And it's like maybe he felt the same thing. Like, what was happening here? Or maybe when, if it is a boxer, the only boxer I could to think of was him because he was famous. This is how they feel at some point. Like the crowd just disintegrates, and it's just them and this adrenaline pumping and that opponent. Maybe that's what happened. But I wanted to bring them into it because I felt I was looking down on them. And these people, I always say that, they always feel like they're looking down on us. They always feel like they're entitled, like they're so high above us. That's one of the things. I think from the thought process, it became like a way of life for them. That we are beneath them somehow. Like we're beneath them, I don't know. So with that being said, I don't understand that. Maybe if somebody out there could tell me if that's what's called broadcasting, and let me know. I'm not sure. I wanted to share that with you. And I wanted to share with you also that the best friend you have is your Creator. He's the one we always blame for everything. He's the one that we feel exhilarated. If you don't, bring him into it. Just be grateful that you're alive to experience happiness. Because if someone were to tell you today, you have 2 days to live, but you can't feel anything for 2 days. Nothing. You don't want to put as many experiences in that 2 days, or those 2 days. What do you mean I can't feel anything? Give me something, anything. Punch something, you want to feel something. These people have no right to take that from us. I don't have any right. And those of you who are thinking of drugs, don't do it. Sell your soul to a white powder or some something like crystal meth or some shit. Don't do that. You have control over these things. Don't let them control you. Don't let them take away your sensitivity. No matter how hard life gets, it's called life. You gotta learn how to suck it up sometimes until you can do better.